G'day legends, I hope you're all awesome. On today's video, I want to break down two 80s inspired presets for the HX Stomp. I will go block by block on each of these and I will share the final results in the video description so you can grab them and try them out for yourself for free. Let's start with this Rockman style clean on here. I'll let you hear it. I'm on the neck and middle position of my strat, and then we will take a look at the individual blocks that make up this tone. Now I do have an original Rockman headphone amp sitting behind me, and I've measured the frequency response on the Clean 2 mode, which is my favorite in there. And essentially it's giving you this kind of tilt style EQ for the tone stack. There's loads of compression, and of course you've got the options for some chorus and some echo on there. So I guess the most important part of the tone is this EQ setting, and I'm not using an amp block or anything like that. I'm just using a low and a high shelf. So we've got a low shelf of -9 dB at 1.5K and a high shelf boosting by 9 dB at exactly the same point in there. So this actually creates a tilt style EQ. There is a tilt style EQ in the Helix ecosystem, but I actually got better results with this low and high shelf. So I'm just gonna roll with that. If I turn this off, I'm just gonna have a very flat, dull DI sound. That is then running into a compressor, and we are just really squeezing the signal here and almost taking out all the dynamic range on there, so you can get those lovely, consistent, sparkly arpeggios. I'm using the deluxe comp. The ratio is at 10:1, attacks at 2 milliseconds, releases at 86 milliseconds, and I've boosted up the level on here by 12 dB just to kind of maintain something resembling unity gain. That is then running into a chorus over here. There's just a standard stereo chorus on here. I've got the speed at 0.6 hertz, cranked up the depth. Pre-delay I've played around with. I've currently got it about 2.4, triangle shape on there, and I haven't really messed with the tone. I've just bumped the mix up to about 60% on there. I'll let you hear this without the chorus and then with it, and the chorus really, really brings it to life. Another aspect of the Rockman was an echo style effect. So I've got a short dual delay in here, basically 200 and 250 milliseconds in there, a little bit of feedback on there. I've scaled the mix controls on there, haven't played with the low or the high cut. You could add some modulation in here, actually. I reckon that would sound pretty good. Let's just hear this with the echo. And then I've added some extra options for you all to play around with, like some stereo pitch detune. Let's kick that on. And I've just added the option of some hall reverb in there if you want it to. The next preset on here I've just called Grease Factory, and this is something that was requested after I saw a comment pop up After a few years on the video I did with the HX effects. I did like an 80s style tone video in there, so I kind of wanted to recreate that on the Stomp. I'm using the Placator Dirty and my go-to LT TV Mix 7 IR over here. I'll just let you hear the straight up amp sound. I'm running 2 delays in parallel back here, but I have the overall level of this delay tied to the snapshot. So that way I can just bring the level all the way down and I'm not bypassing a block down here and, you know, making it louder due to this dual path. I'll just let you hear the amp tone, then I'll kick in some chorus. I'm using the Trinity chorus. I've got some pitch detune on here, and then there is a ping pong delay and a dual delay. Let's go. So that's with the ping pong delay. I'll go over to snapshot number 2 on here, and this will bring in this dual delay in parallel. You will also note that in the Placator, so this is a Friedman BE HBE model over here, I've got the saturation switch on. I could turn on the HBE mode as well for more gain. That's kind of fun. I should have mentioned as well, I've got these delays tempo synced in here. The ping pong is set to a quarter note and the scale is 50%. So that's just going to be a standard ping pong style delay. The dual delay I've got set up for a quarter note and a dotted eighth note over here. And I've used a little bit of low and high cut on here. You can kind of tweak those to taste. I really like a lot of high cut in these delays. You know, anything around 6K and below I think will sit really well for this kind of over-the-top lead thing. And you can also play around with the chorus in here, like the Dimension chorus sounds really good in place of the Trinity chorus. You can also play around with the amount of cents of detune on here, like take this to like 11 either side or something like that. It's going to sound pretty sweet as well. I'll put links to these in the video description. Any other questions, let me know in the comments section below. And if you want to support what I do here on the channel, in the video description, there's a bunch of links to do that as well. Check it out if you've got the time. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.